So the Nixon administration caught a lot of heat over this. It came out that Helms and Hoover weren't speaking to each other, and the Nixon impeachment resulted in an investigation of the intelligence community, where they found out all kinds of illegal stuff was done to citizens in the United States during the Vietnam War in order to prove that the Prost test wasn't actually a local phenomenon, but was staged and financed by the communists, which was far from the truth. But even then, truth didn't matter that much. So as the Senate Committee of Intelligence proceeded, more and more things came out about various agencies. One of them was about the breach of liaison between the CIA and the FBI. Some of it was revealed in the Nixon tapes, where he expressed concern that if the tapes were made public, it would blow the lid off the so-called Cuba matter. So, that's where it stood. The war between my clients caused a war between the CIA and the FBI, in which David Wise credited me for toppling a government. Of course, I had no idea this was going on. I was just blundering along in my law practice, keeping notes and things like that. But right about that time, I decided to run for district attorney for several reasons. First off, I put together a lot of information about contacts between the intelligence community and the mafia. Secondly, I had a client charged with attempted murder in Santa Fe, and the police tried to change the time of the shooting by an hour because there was hospital records showing that the victim was admitted to the hospital at the same time as my client was playing pool in front of 50 witnesses. I won't get into details because I'm going to do this later about the case. But suffice it to say, the investigators I sent down there reported that they would go to this contact place where the shooting occurred, and people would ask them if they had a red passport. And a couple of the investigators got scared off. So I decided to go down and investigate myself. And I went into the bar and tried to talk to the musicians, and they said they didn't see anything at the time of the shooting because they were reading their music. I watched them for a while, and never once did they read music. So I kind of figured that wasn't really the case, but something made them afraid. Then I was approached by somebody to ask if I had a red passport. I asked my younger brother, who was stationed in Albuquerque at that time, and he informed me that a red passport was code for diplomatic passports or intelligence community passports, and were much better than the blue passport that this country gave up. So at this point in my career, I was investigated after I lost the election. Now, one of the things I said in my election is if I was elected, I would check into why out of 5 drug dealing groups in Boulder, only 4 were prosecuted. And I was able to pretty much sociogram who was who in those groups. Secondly, I said that it was my position the drug laws were unconstitutional and I would try to change them. Thirdly, I said I would call a grand jury to determine what happened to Professor Rhea and why Ilya Tannenbaum died. this apparently scared the hell out of someone, because right after that, after I lost the election, the Internal Revenue Service came in and claiming they wanted to audit me. They audited me for 87 consecutive weeks, visiting all my clients and chasing them away, essentially. So they pretty much wrecked my practice. And that's enough for the day. I will talk later.